Right now I'm cleaning the rice. I'll just keep on mixing it around and I'll just strain the water until it becomes clear, and then I will let this sit for 10 minutes so it soaks up the water, because it does make a difference when you let it soak. Yeah?
Yeah.
So after you take out the rice cooker, you're gonna get your vinegar, your sushi vinegar. This one consists of Mayo, vinegar, sugar, salt, and some other ingredients. You just want to pour it all into it. Now you want to mix the vinegar all around the sushi rice. Get it nice and mixed in there, nice and good. After you're finished, you're gonna let it cool off. You don't want it to get ice cold, but you don't want to serve it piping hot either. You want to get that nice warm rice, so you can taste how good it is when it's fresh as possible. Alright guys, now these are going to be your green onions. When choosing your green onions, you want to choose the freshest as possible, just because your customers or whoever you're serving it to, or even yourself, could taste that the green onion is as fresh as it can be. So you want to get it nice, plump. Right now these ain't the best looking ones, but this is what we got, so this is what we're going to work with. So I like cutting the ends off, and then when I say thinly sliced, I really mean thinly sliced. You can go like this, and you want to use the knife to do the work. You don't want to use your shoulder at all, just because if you start using your shoulder, you start squeezing the juice out as well as just squishing the green onion. But when I say thinly sliced, I really mean thinly sliced. And it also helps with the flavor as well, just because when you're biting into something, you don't want a big bunch of green onion taste. You just want that little hint, and it to be like it's like dancing, or like flavors just melting your tongue, like literally. So when you're making these green onions, you want to make them as small as possible, just so the customer or yourself gets the best taste you can out of anything. So now we have a crab mix. To make the crab mix, I only add maybe like 3 or 4 spoonfuls of mayo, just to get this consistency right here. You want it enough to get thick together, but not enough for it to fall apart. You gotta make sure to mix it very well to get all the clumps out. That's how you make your snow crab or your crab mix. So this is the salmon we're gonna be using to make that tiger roll. I'm making a video, my bad. For my college project.
Okay.
So the fish comes in 2 parts: the nigiri and the sashimi. And going through this video, I'll show you how to tell the difference. So you're just gonna follow this skin right here. It has some bones. You want to stay as close to the bones you can, and not to dig the beautiful fish itself. So just follow the bones as precisely as you can, and just take all this white skin off of it. And you just want to let your knife do all the work. You want to put no pressure at all. That's why it's very important to have a sharp knife. After that, there's 2 pieces that you're going to cut down this white line, and 1 slice. If you can't get it the first time, you can always put your knife back in and give it another slice. And you want to get it all the way down to this dark line right here. This dark line right here is when you're getting too close to the skin, and you're gonna cut right above it to get that nice, perfect salmon. When cutting the salmon, you want to make sure your knife is as flat as possible. And right now we're gonna go ahead and clean it off, but you don't want none of this. You just want all the red part of the salmon. This is going to be our nigiri piece that we use for the salmon. Alright guys, so we have our tempura flour right here, as well as the tempura batter. To get this, you'll just have to get a cup of this, the tempura powder, and mix it with 1.5 cups of water. And to get this consistency, you don't want it too thin or thick, but just a nice in-between mixture. And to get the crunch, you'll get yourself a measuring cup. maybe one like this, maybe a little bigger. Just scoop in here and just, you want to have it about 2 to 3 feet above the fryer, and you just want to drizzle it on top. You don't want to pour it all in there, but just like that. And to know when to take it out is when they stop like bubbling and just dancing all around the fryer. Like right now, they're starting to calm down. Boom, just grab your tools, take them out of the fryer, and bam, that's how we're gonna make our crunch. While we're already here, we're gonna go ahead and make our shrimp tempura, which you're gonna get every shrimp, powder, toss it in this tempura flour, drop it in here, the tempura batter, and just lay it on. You don't want to just drop it in there because it's very easy for the fryer to jump back at you and just bite you, like the oil and stuff like that. That's how I interpret it. Like, it just bites at you like boom. You're like, ah, shit. So it's very important just to like lay it on there. You're gonna put 1.5 minutes and take it out once you're done.
But I think I'm just not used to it, to be honest. I have to put on gigantic socks to wear these today.
So you're gonna get your 4 ounces of sushi rice, and you get your nori seaweed. And there's 2 sides of the seaweed. There's a rough side as well as a smooth side. So you're gonna put it on the rough side, stick it on, and you want to spread the rice. You do not want to squish the rice, just because even just squishing the rice will change the flavor of the sushi roll. After you have spread the rice nice and evenly, you're gonna flip it over, get your snow crab, and there's not too much snow crab. It's about 1.5 ounces.
I need to get to where I was eating because I want to do a video podcast.
Spread that out evenly as well. And that is where your shrimp tempura comes in. You want them as fresh as you can out the fryer, just drop one, but just because you'll be able to give that crunch and that nice flavor when making the roll. Now we have our nigiri right here. You can tell the nigiri because I have the lines left to right. And when you're cutting nigiri, you want to cut it at an angle, a nice 45-degree angle, to get that nice big slice but thinly sliced. And these slices is about gonna be 1.5 ounces. And after you cut the sushi roll, you're gonna lay it. And I forgot to mention, but when you're cutting any nigiri or even any meat, you always want to cut against the grain. Just because if you cut the grain is this white part, it'll be very, very, very chewy, and you don't want that at all. So you're gonna lay your 1.5 ounces of fish on top. Grab your saran wrap, your bamboo mat. You want to shape it into a cylinder, and also push in the ends to make it nice and even on both sides. You're gonna cut the roll. Boom, 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 boom. Oh shit. And then put it back on, no problem. So you don't ever want to salt at your sushi because you can squish the rice and you will squish the sushi roll down. So it's better to have a very sharp knife so you can just go in and out in one swing. Now I have my bamboo and my plate. And when doing this, you want to have the ends, you want to separate them and put the ends together like this. And you're gonna lay them down diagonally all throughout the bamboo mat, bamboo leaf, oh my bad. Grab your space of mayo. And just drizzle that. You don't want to go all over the plate just to get that nice presentation. You just want to get it on the bamboo leaf. And also put 3 dots, and you'll see why I do the 3 dots in just a moment. Grab your eel sauce. And now, when you got those thinly sliced green onions, you want to sprinkle it on top. Nice and even. As well as your crunch.
But I can remember back in the day when
And your masago.
when I was first here.
Get your knife. Go down with the sausage. And then you're gonna get your ginger wasabi. And there you go. And this is how you make a tiger roll from scratch.